Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Hoar. I'm the Chief Executive of the Facilities Management Association. I'm here today with Guy Stallard, who is Director of Facilities for KPMG, also a business representative on the Living Wage Commission. Guy, good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Good timing this. Yesterday was the announcement from the government around the minimum wage. Could you just explain to the industry the difference between the minimum wage and the living wage?
I'll be delighted to, Chris. The minimum wage represents the legal floor, i.e. the amount below which it is not possible to employ someone on an hourly rate. There is a lower rate for the under 21-year-olds, whereas the living wage is calculated both a national rate, which is calculated by Loughborough University, and the London rate, which is calculated by the GLA Economics Unit, which is the amount someone would need to earn to have an appropriate life.
KPMG have made it quite clear to the world that they are supporters of the living wage, and you've made some interesting statements about how it's affected the company and the way it operates. One of the ones was you said that your actual cost had not increased. Could you just explain that to us and why?
Yeah, so KPMG introduced the living wage 2006, which is now, nearly 8 years ago. Why did we do it? For two reasons. One is a moral position that work should pay, and it was not appropriate for people who were working for us, not directly, but for our contractors who were not earning enough to actually support their family. And two was a perspective that if you empower people, if they don't have to work as long hours, then they're able to provide a more efficient and high quality service. Although the wages have gone up, the total costs have gone down. Quality is better. And for instance, if you go into the catering, we now have staff who are more highly skilled, flexible, etc., who are able to provide all the services, and as a result, you do not have quite as many people working in your business.
That's very interesting. From the FM perspective, some of the larger contractors like ISS have signed up to the living wage. Okay. If you were from outside of the industry, you may be slightly cynical and say some of the larger contractors may have done this from a PR perspective rather than from a moral perspective. What's your take on that?
I think the first thing to think about is the dynamics between, say, KPMG as the ultimate client and the FM contractor, because this is very much a three-way process. There are organisations that say the issue of the living wage is just purely a contractor point of view, and contractors who would say that it is purely a client point of view. Why do I think organisations at ISS and other companies like Enhanced Office Cleaning have signed up as living wage recognised service providers, which says that they will always submit a living wage bid? It's because of two things. One, client satisfaction levels are much higher on living wage accounts. And two, by paying people a higher level, you're able to deliver a TFM service, for instance, more readily.
Okay, I mean, from the FM industry's point of view, we are made up of various sizes of companies. There are lots of SMEs working in the FM industry, so it's not just the top big contractors. Particularly in the cleaning industry, there are loads of SMEs working there. Do you think SMEs can afford to pay the living wage? I
actually think that experience shows two directions. 50% of members of the Federation of Small Business are living wage employers. An SME hasn't got a large HR department. To provide a quality of delivery against the big players, what it needs to provide is a very high quality service. So for instance, Enhanced Office Cleaning, small cleaning firm, 90% of its contracts are living wage. And what it then provides to its customers is an exceptionally high quality service, stable workforce, etc. So for them, it works very well. For the large providers, it works very well as well because they're moving towards a TFM direction and they need multi-skilling. Right. The area of the market that will find it harder are sort of the players who may be between the top and bottom. The way to make a sustainable business in the cleaning industry is to keep your contracts for much longer. The only way you keep contracts for a long time is by delivering a high quality service.
Thanks, Guy. I mean, I think that's a very interesting topic to discuss, and I think that the industry is going to embrace it going forward. And I look forward to watching how it develops over the next 2 or 3 years.